evening, Brett, and welcome to Mexico for Formula 2 action.
Well, welcome Evan, welcome community. We are live in Mexico, as Evan said, for Formula 2 action. I am hoping for anything that resembles last week.
And Brett, of course, we have new updates on the game, so we will be running the Formula 2 2022 cars for the first time in SAF1 Racing League. Really excited for that. And for the second time in SAF1 Racing League, we will have a formation lap.
Very nice. I'm looking forward to it. Also, I don't have the game myself, so these updates is all new to me as well, to be quite honest.
And Brett, we are currently out on track with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 drivers on their outlaps in Mexico.
And we have a total of 18 drivers overall tonight, so a stacked out grid. Very nice to see.
That is going to be exciting indeed, Brett. So let's see what these Formula 2 drivers will be able to accomplish in Mexico. Of course, in our Tier 1 race, 8 safety cars. That was cut in half by our Tier 2 4 safety cars. And what will the F2 drivers be able to accomplish tonight?
And we have, I'm going to say Lewis in chat. Well, first of all, good evening, Lewis. And he is saying it's going to be hectic. You are correct, my friend. It will be hectic.
Well, touch wood, Brett. From past experiences, Brett, we have learned not to say too much, because as soon as we open our loud mouths, something bad always tends to happen. We have the toy currently on his first flyer.
That is true. The commentator's curse is very strong with us. So
definitely is.
Yes.
And we have out on track currently, we have the toy followed by Golf Racer going, no, not Golf Racer, my mistake. Who is following short after the toy? It will be Ghost. Also currently on his flying lap, he did a 131.9 and the toy was doing a 131.8, Brett, so only 1/10 in that so far.
And we have Sparkplug in chat. Welcome in, Sparkplug. He says, hi, gentlemen. Well, I think if he's saying gentlemen, Evan, he's talking to you. But
good.
Sparkplug, welcome in.
Good evening, Mr. Sparkplug, our race winner in Tier 2 last night. Great race he had, Brett. Let's not forget that he dropped from P1 to P13 to fight his way back up the grid to take a remarkable P1. Good race from Mr. Sparkplug yesterday.
Wednesday, Evan.
Wednesday, my mistake, Brett. Right, so we are on board with the toy around the penultimate corner. He's doing a 122.3, runs wide. Good enough for a 126.5 provisional pole, but let's forget the only driver to set a time thus far.
Yeah, and we still have 26 minutes remaining of this qualifying.
26.
So time for...
And yep. Golf Racer making his way into the last sector. Runs a bit narrow into the corner. Oh, that's going to cost him a lot of time. He's going to go into the 130s. This lap will be no good to keep him in second place currently. And we are followed by Kratos, who does a 127.4. That's almost 9/10 behind the toy. And Otozi goes a 126.2, Brett, already drivers into the 126, the low 126.
Very nice. And in chat we have Dented Stroll saying hello ladies. Well, hello to you, lady. And we have VB Thomas saying hello guys, good luck. Good luck to you, Thomas. All the best.
Thank you very much, Mr. Thomas. Let's hope he can carry his momentum through to the Mexican race to get himself maybe a podium position there, Brett.
Well, stick with us, we're going to find out.
Right, we have JD, he's busy on his first flyer. We have the toy followed by the toy. Will he jump into the pits? Well, let's see what he can do. 121, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is an improvement. Brett gets him back onto provisional pole. Currently 2/10 on the time of Otozi. Right, who do we have next to cross the line? We have the Potty OC, Brett. Let's see what kind of times this man can produce. Coming into the penultimate corner, a little bit shaky on the last turn. He dives right into the pits. He will be followed by the Mechanic. What can he do? Already first driver into the 1 minute 25s flat, 1 second up on the time of G. Tozy Brett.
There we go then. The mechanic setting the pace early on.
Mechanic showing us that his car is well tuned up for this race. The first driver into the 1 minute 25s. Who do we have next to cross the line? We have JD currently doing his flyer into sector 3. On the curb, straightens up the car, little bit of a moment there, runs it nice, kisses the curb, onto the throttle, on the inside line, and this will also be a 125.5, yes, and that is good enough for P3 currently. Next.
Very nice.
The Dark Fox indeed, Brett. Little bit of a dark race he had on Wednesday in Tier 2. He will definitely be out to redeem himself in this race tonight.
He will be, and the Dark Fox is a name that we all should be familiar with.
That is true, Brett. The Dark Fox, a name everyone should be familiar with. We all know he does have the pace to do well. But let's not forget, we still have VB Thomas, who is currently doing an outlap, and Brett might be pushing for pole position here today.
He could be. If he can do anything like he did last week, then he will be up there in contention.
But let's not forget, Brett, he might have the pace on qualifying, but really needs to work on those race starts that really cost him a couple of positions the last time around. Right. Who will be next to cross the line? We have the mechanic currently on a cool down lap. Will he jump into the pits? Only time will tell. Next to follow will be VB Thomas, as he is set to start his first flying lap. And Brett, let's see if he can push himself all the way up and break the 125s to be the first driver into the 124s.
Well, if you can put a good lap together, you'll definitely be up there fighting for P1.
Right, next to cross the grid. No, JD jumps into the pits. Who will be next to cross the line? Will it be Ghost? No, jumps right into the pits. He will be followed by Kratos. What will he do? No, he is currently in the pit lane. Then...
yeah, we have a lot of drivers in the pits at the moment. Still plenty of time in this qualifying session.
Potty currently doing it 2 minutes, so that'll be no good. Probably just on a cool down lap before he pushes for another hot lap. He will be followed by Golf Racing. Yes, it is Golf Racing. Also on a 1 minute 28.40 will dive into the pits. And we have a driver going really, really slowly out on track. That it will be a Tozy. Maybe he ran out of fuel. Really slow into the pits. Maybe just protecting the tires there, Brett.
That could be a possibility. 11 minutes remaining. So as I said already, plenty of time for these drivers to put some time on the board.
Early days, and we have VB Thomas with a lap invalidation. Will be no good from him. Potty. He's currently out on track. 133.3 currently in his first sector. Jumping to the Dark Fox as he is set to finish his first flying lap. Let's see what kind of pace he has. 21, 2, 3, as we predicted, a 124.1, currently 9 tenths, 8 tenths up the road of the mechanic, and he takes provisional pole with 20 minutes remaining in this session.
That is a big jump from P1 to P2. Very big.
Big jump indeed, Brett, but let's not forget, we only have 7 drivers with time so far. Still, we have a lot of drivers that need to set times. And this will be Potty, currently running a 125 flat. That is good enough for P3, a much better lap by Potty OC. He is currently on the second row of the grid.
Very nice.
Good improvement by Potty, and the times are starting to tumble, Brett. Back to VB Thomas, currently running in a purple sector 1.
No lap invalidations, please, for Thomas. We currently have still 10 drivers who have not a lap yet. We have 19 minutes remaining.
Still early days, Brett, but remember the time will be ticking. Right, so let's see. Can he set a purple sector 2? Yes, he can. VB Thomas is on a very good lap so far, Brett. Running into the third sector. Can he keep it nice and tidy? Late onto the brakes. Doesn't run wide. Onto the throttle now. Keeps it nice and straight. Kisses the curb. Right. 21, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, it is the second driver into the 124s, but Brett still 7/10 down the time of the Dark Fox. He will need to improve. Very handy lap by the Dark Fox.
And we have Stoffberg in the chat. So welcome in, Stoffberg.
Welcome indeed. Right, Brett, who do we have? We have True Loki currently on a lap. That is only good enough for P16. No, P7, my mistake. That is a 125.8 from him, and that will need improving. Followed by the Toy, also currently on a 126 flat. He will need to improve if he wants to push his car up the grid. And we also have Golf Racer, who is setting off for his flyer now, Brett. Can he get this car up the grid? Currently running in last position for all the drivers who have set times.
I do think we will see an improvement, but now I've said it, I really shouldn't have said it.
You shouldn't have indeed, Brett. You know that we only provide bad luck for the drivers out there. We have Ghost currently with a lap invalidation. He will need to cool those tires down, and he will need to go out for another flyer. Running it a bit wide there. Who is next up the road? Winzard. He will be doing his hot lap in a moment. Yellow flags down in sector 2. Yellow flags down in sector 3. That will only be drivers trying to avoid collision with each other, giving each other space for a hot lap. Winzard sets off for his flying lap. Yes, indeed. Right, down the road. Who do we have, Brett? Ghost, 28. That will only be good enough for... Oh, no, no lap. That was the invalidation. Right. Corsier, he is still running in the pits, Brett. We still have how many drivers? 8 drivers who have not set times yet. And do we have any flying laps going on? Golf Racer, no. That is a lap invalidation. We have the Toy, currently 1.5 tenths up on his time. Can he improve?
Hopefully they can, but yes, we still have, well, you see for yourself, highly favoured, Emil, Hector, Winzard, Ghost, MGS, Ladmine and Corsair, with no time set at the moment.
JD also, he is only 500ths of a second up on his time, Brett. He is going to have to increase the pace much more if he wants to push that car up the grid. Do not forget 8 drivers yet to set a time.
And I have noticed, Evan, I've noticed from experience of commentating that half an hour does seem a long time, but also the time does go by very fast.
Time does go by very fast. We have another driver pushing his way into the 1 minute 24.2. That is Winzard telling the Dark Fox, do not forget about me, that I'm only 1/10 down on your time, Brett, and that was a very good lap from him indeed.
Very nice. The Dark Fox will not have it all his own way tonight. These drivers will be pushing him for that P1 position.
They definitely will, Brett. And right, we currently now have 13 drivers who have set a time, still highly favoured. MR Emil, MGST, MR and Corsair that still needs to go out on track to set a pit. Maybe trying to see what the other drivers are doing before they start using the tyres. Maybe waiting for the track to be rubbered in. Only time will tell. Right, Mechanic, he's entering his last sector, penultimate corner. What times can he produce? Currently sitting in P4, 21, 2, 3, 4, into the 5s. That'll be no good to improve his time. 2/10 up on his time, stays P4. Next driver to cross will be... Was it VB Thomas? No, it was not. It was MGST, Brett. That is on his way to set a flying lap, and let's see if MGST has the pace to get that car into the top 10.
They will be hoping they can do something here and now.
Big disappointments from him in the Tier 2 race, Brett. Having a good race, running in P3, losing it, which cost him maybe a podium position?
Maybe.
Right, we have Who will that be? Will it be Hector? Yes, it was Hector, and that was 5 seconds up on his time. That'll be no good. We'll be looking for a cooldown lap before he tries to push again. Right, who will be next to cross the line? We will have Detoy making space for the cars to pass before he sets off. And what is this? I haven't seen that before, Brett.
Well, if you've not seen it, I've definitely not seen it.
Right. We have Kratos currently running out. A high favorite. Oh, just as we spoke about him, he decides he's had enough of the pit lane and he makes his way out onto track right about now. Emil still in the pits. MGST currently on an invalidation. He will have to go again. Landmine.
Yeah, 5 drivers still not recorded a time yet, with about 15 minutes remaining.
Right, Brett, so time is ticking down. So far, 3 drivers into the 1 minute 24s. The Dark Fox, Wimsard and VB Thomas. Can anyone respond to get the cars into the 1 minute 24s? The time is ticking.
Well, I've never experienced. All I'm going to commentate on is what I see, the facts. I'm not going to speculate or anything, because when I do that, it just goes, to be quite frank, it goes tits up.
Right.
So.
Who do we have out on track? Is this VB Thomas? Yes, it is VB Thomas into sector 3 now. This is not going to be an improvement, so he will be pushing for a flying lap right about now as he exits into the last corner. Can he improve? Currently 8 tenths down on the time of the Dark Fox. He will have to respond to this, Brett. Right, next driver to cross the line is not, it's JD running very, very wide indeed there, giving gap for other cars to pass. Right.
Nice to see. Sorry, Evan, one thing. Nice to see that all the drivers are respecting each other. Always nice to see that.
Always nice to see that, Brett. Highly favored. He is currently doing his first flying lap on a brand new set of softs. So, super softs. So, let's see what he can produce, Brett. Obviously, new driver, first time we have the honor of spectating him. So let's see what kind of times he will be able to produce in this Tier 3 race tonight. So, first sector will be a 1:31.5 goes purple sector, Brett. Not bad. Not bad indeed.
Not bad at all.
Could we have a new provisional pole sitter at the moment? Right. Into sector 2 he goes. Little bit kissing the curb, not aggressive on the curbs at all, trying to avoid it as much he can, gets onto the throttle well. Will this be a purple sector 2? No purple sector 2, Brett, so that was not the quickest around sector 2. Let's see, does he still have the pace to push the car into provisional pole? Maybe, maybe not, time will tell. Exits onto the penultimate corner. Does he kiss the curb? Yes, he does. Gets onto the throttle, runs a little bit wide, 24, 25, no good. After going purple sector 1, only good enough at the moment for P7. And look at MR Emil Brett on a 1:23.6, completely missed that lap. Also a new driver. And hello, new provisional pole sitter. The Dark Fox will want to respond to that.
Emil, 1 lap, and they smashed it.
1 lap, he tells the rest of the grid, listen here guys, I'm not here to play, I'm in business. And he puts his car on provisional pole, Brett.
Wow, and we still have a Landmine and Corsair with no time set, and MGS on a outlap.
Golf Racing on a new hot lap, Brett, into sector 3, currently running 4 tenths down on his time. This will be an improvement if he can stick it together. Let's see. He's currently, that's a slow last corner for him, Brett. Gets onto the throttle, runs very wide. That's going to be 4 tenths down on his time, but no good for an improvement. A 1:31.5 and currently sitting in P15. Last place because MGST, Landmine and Corsair still have not set a lap.
And under 10 minutes remaining.
And as we've said that, we have yet another driver pushing himself into the top 5. Corsair with a time of 1:24.4. Good lap from him. Hector Ladmine. Let's see what he can do, Brett. MGST also needs to set a time. Right. And Brett, aggressive racing style, gets onto the throttle really hard, hits the curb onto the throttle. 21, 2, 3, 4, keeps it nice and tidy for a P5. And Brett, we will have company for Emil Darkfox, Windsor, Corsier, Landmine, VB Thomas. It's all to play for the top 6 thus far. Great lap from him.
Very nice. This is getting interesting.
Getting very interesting indeed. And Brett, this is going to be a very interesting sprint. Oh! Did we have a driver with damage or going through the barriers? Not too sure, but right. Brett, hard on the acceleration, hard on the gears. It seems like this man has got some serious pace in him.
Yeah, Corsair is... You know,
oh, we have a little bit of racing out on track there, Brett.
Oh, qualifying is getting spicy.
Qualifying is getting spicy indeed. Maybe a little bit of a practice run. Might tell the guy, listen, get out of my way. You know I've got the pace. And it's nice actually to see a little bit of racing in qualifying.
Very nice.
Right. We have Hector currently out. He is doing a 3 minutes no good. This will be a new hot lap for him. Followed by...
VB Thomas on an outlap.
VB Thomas on an outlap. True Loki has left the session. Wonder what might have happened there. Hopefully it's not internet problems. Right. Do we have the Darkfox out on track? Yes, we do, Brett. And he is basically equal on his time. He will have to improve and push if he wants to get back onto provisional pole, because MR means business out here in Mexico. The Darkfox attacking the curbs. Real different style from MR. Is he currently doing? No, it's on an invalidation.
Oh.
Missed that for a second there. And he will go for a new flying lap, of course. Right. Back to VB Thomas. Currently doing no improvements on his time. Warming up the tires. He will set off for another run on a hot lap. We have the mechanic out on track, 6 seconds up on his time. We have Potty out on track. Let's see what he can do. Attacking the curbs as well. Very different racing styles we've got on for drivers here. Let's see, Brett. It's a purple sector 2. Are we on for a new provisional pole sitter?
We could be.
Right. Straightens up the car, penultimate corner, makes his way through the final corner, runs, no, it does not run wide, 23, 24, good enough for P6. Brett had a great second sector, might have lost time in sector 1 or 3, and only still with MR out in front in the garage, sitting pretty, and time is ticking, Brett. Hector, 6 tenths up on his time. That'll be no good. Detroit currently on an improvement. 2 tenths down on his time. Let's see if he can improve. Doesn't run wide. Attacks the curbs. Just a little bit kissing it on the inside, on the outside. Sector 2 will be basically even Stevens on his time. It'll all come down to sector 3. Can Detroit push his car into the top 10 positions? Right. Into sector 3 we go. Into the last corner we go. Aggressive on the curbs. Does he run wide? Little bit. 5. And that's no good, Brett. Stays P12. MGST currently sitting in P13. Not the best qualifying from him thus far. Hector, 2 tenths up on his time, dives into the pits. Anyone on a flying lap? The Darkfox with another lap invalidation. Mowing some lawn here, I see, Brett.
Under 5 minutes remaining. I'll tell you one thing, Mexico is a nice holiday destination. Not for these drivers. They are here to race and they mean business.
Dark Fox setting off on an adventure, mowing some lawn here in Mexico. Sorry, Brett, for laughing about this. Not expecting this from the Dark Fox, but
the very expensive
if
lawnmower.
it pays the bills, it pays the bills. Running out of fuel, going for another adventure, mowing some lawn. The Dark Fox having fun out there, Brett.
Well, like I said, a very expensive lawnmower. Wow, look at that.
Very expensive indeed. MGST sets out on an outlap. He will have one more shot at a hot lap, Brett. How much time do we have left, so to speak of it?
About 4 minutes.
About 4 minutes? Right, the toy into the pits he goes. JD currently on a hot lap, 2/10 up on his time. He will have to get a move on. We have, is it Potty? No, it is the Dark Fox jumping into the pits. We have 3 minutes and 50 seconds remaining of qualifying. And currently we have MR out on another outlap. Let's see if he has the pace to improve a 1:23.6, Brett. Remarkable stuff from him. Dark Fox 3/10 down on the time of MR. Time sticking, Brett. Wizard in the pits. MR also on a current on a new outlap. Let's see if Latmine has the pace, Brett, to push that car up the order. Maybe provisional pole, second or third. Time will tell. Behind him. But I'm really looking forward to see what this lap will hold in store for us. I'm really excited indeed.
Under 3 minutes remaining. Now or never time we are getting to.
Brett, I'm going to go out on one and say that this is going to be an improvement on his time if he goes for a hot lap. I'm going to back him. I'm going to back him indeed and say that this is going to be an improvement.
Rather you than me.
Time will tell, Brett. Usually when we say something, it happens. So let's see if good fortune comes the way of the drivers and not only the bad fortune. Right, so Latmine, he's currently doing 2/10 down on his time. This is an improvement so far. Sorry, Brett, go ahead.
No, I was just about to say, it would be nice to see some good fortune for a team, but we will find out.
Right. So Latmine, he is currently going into Sector 2. Let's see what he is going to be able to do. He's attacking the curbs with all his might, Brett, running over them, attacking them. This looks like this guy's got some pace. Is it going to be a purple Sector 2? No, it's not, but he's still down on his time by 800ths of a second. Oh, aggressive on that throttle, Brett. We are going to have some speedy races out there tonight in Tier 3. It's a lap invalidation. No.
Oh, right. Cut to the chat quickly. We have VB Thomas in chat. Little Mickey Mouse ruined my lap. And then Dan to VB Thomas. What happened?
Right, 2 seconds there, Brett. Just watching MR here, about to complete his lap. Does he have the pace to improve? A 21, 2, 3. No improvement, Brett.
Oh.
But no worries, he is still out on provisional pole. The Dark Fox. Was that an improvement, Brett? No, it was not. Stays P2. And the drivers out in front mean business tonight, Brett. Right, highly favored. Still, invalidation. Who do we have next? We have the toy. Currently, basically, Even Stevens on his time as well. MGST, Even Stevens on his time as well. True Loki. Starting a new hot lap. No. Right. Back to, who are we spectating, Brett? Who's coming around the corners? Highly favored, jumping into the pits. Thomas in the garage. MGST, currently 4/10 up on his time, so I do not believe that this will be an improvement on his lap. Jumps into the pits. No. The toy is improving on his time so far, Brett. But I think those corners hurt him a little bit. Yes, currently 1.6 seconds up on his time, so this will not be an improvement. And qualifying so far done for Wizard. It's done for Potty. It's done for Thomas, the mechanic, highly favored. Giottosi jumps into the pits. It's over for JD, Detoy, MG, Loki, Hector, Kratos, Ghost, and Golf Racing.
Oh, wow.
Dark Fox jumps into the pits. Mr. Ladmine with the invalidation will jump into the pits, and Brett, that will be qualifying done. M.I. Emil on pole position on the front row of the grid. The Dark Fox will keep him company. Great qualifying by Wizard. And M.I. Ladmine also on the second row of this grid. That was a good qualifying, Brett. Some new drivers with some great pace.
Wow, I do, but well, I mean, my opinion, as the qualifying progressed, it definitely heated up.
But as we've seen before, Brett, qualifying can be slow at times, but as soon as the lights go out, it's all business.
It is.
I mean, qualifying and racing is like a mullet, Brett. It's business in front, but it's always a party at the back as soon as the race starts.
Got that spot on, my friend. And VB Thomas in chat says, just explaining what happened. Going into sector 2, someone was weaving heavily, slowed down into the corner, and I was approaching, and yeah, he was slowing down into the corner, which fucked up my lap. But don't worry, I can start on P4.
2 seconds there, Brett. Quickly run us through the order, please.
I will. So we have 1 to 10. We have Emil, the Dark Fox, Wizard, Ladmine, Corsair, Potty, VB Thomas, the Mechanic, Highly Favoured, Atozi, and then from 11 downwards, JD, Dutoy, MGS, True Loki. Where am I to? Hector, Krytos, Ghost, and Golf Racing is in last. But really, qualifying does not mean everything. Sprint race inbound.
Sprint race indeed, Brett. Let's not forget we will have a formation lap before we have lights out. A little bit of time to chat about the qualifying, but Brett, I'm really looking forward to the sprint. And let's see what the racing will have in store for the drivers.
Well, as a commentator, as a neutral spectator, I'm just hoping for a clean, fun, enjoyable race. And like I said, if it's anything like last week, then I will have my wish granted.
We will be back for Formula 2 action as soon as the grid is set.
And to all drivers, good luck.
Right, Brett. We are back with the formation lap.
Here we go, a formation lap. Sometimes they can be a bit entertaining.
Right, we are off for the formation lap, and already we have drivers warming up the tires. Let's not forget, Brett, it is of course reversed grids for the sprint. So our pole position runners of Emil, Dark Fox, Wizard, MR and Corsair, they will be starting in P10 to P5, P6. And let's see of the guys that qualified in P10, P9, P8, 7 and 6 will have the pace to keep these guys with the serious pace behind them. Time will tell. 14 lap sprint race, and I'm looking forward to the jumps that these guys will be willing to make early up in this race.
Very true, and we have Haynes in chat saying commentator curse. You know as well.
We have had so many commentators curses, Brett, but let's hope we can break the run of commentators curses for tonight, and let's just hope for a clean race.
We can sit here and hope. That's all we can do.
Right. So we have currently Potty ghosting himself. Hopefully we have not lost the racer for the sprint. Hopefully he will be back for the race. We will have to wait and see. And right, Brett, the drivers are making their way to the grid for the start of this sprint, and I'm very much looking forward to this.
So, and before we get underway, to anybody new in the chat, My name is Brett. I'm joined by Evan. Evan will be main commentator, and I'll be having my inputs over the top of his. Anybody is welcome to talk in the chat. Please enjoy the race, because we definitely will.
So we have Emil that was disqualified with its JD. Maybe these two had a moment with them on the formation lap. We'll be starting on colder tyres. A little bit of a disadvantage. But let's not forget, Brett, it's an 890 meter run down into the first corner. And who will have the top line speed to get his car up the order to make a few, to jump a few spots at the race start?
Please, 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 and one more time for the people at the back, please, let's have a clean getaway.
So Golf Racing will be the last driver on the grid, Brett. So the lights will go off when we have lights out. We are off in Formula 2, Brett. Looks like we have thus far a clean getaway, but it's only the race start, Brett. Let's jump to the front of the grid. Do we have clean drivers? Do we have a clean getaway? Into the first corner we go. Do we have contact? Yes, we have a lot of contact. We've got damage. We've got drivers spinning all over the place. And we have action, Brett.
Oh my God, look at it, God. Oh my, wow.
And just a moment, Brett. Where is my lap sheets?
It's like they're on ice out there. Oh my God.
What is going on with the lap sheets? Don't know where they are. Does not want to show currently. That is a bit of a problem, but anyways, we will be hoping for them to come back. Right, Brett.
Whew.
Just 2 seconds there, chat. What is going on with the racing sheets? No idea.
Well, at least we had a clean getaway, so it's more than what happened on Wednesday night. So, viewers in chat, that was something that was highly unexpected.
Well, this is a bit of a problem. Where is the racing sheets? Does not seem to be working, Brett. 2 seconds.
What a surprise, the game's messing up again.
Is this a new problem in the game? Please don't tell me that this is a part of the new update. This is no good at all, Brett.
Oh wow, well honestly I can only sit here and, well literally all I can do is sit here because I have no idea.
Right, so we currently have, this is no good at all. We have a spinner going off. That would be Mr. Ladmine. Brett, what's going on here? Sorry, chat, there seems to be a problem. We can't find the racing sheets of the drivers.
Always some issue. If it's not EA, it's Codemasters. If it's not Codemasters, it's both of them. If not that, it's something else. But we are still racing, but the data we need is not being provided and not being shown at the moment.
Which is a problem indeed. Sorry for everyone out in chat, but it does not seem as though the race information is showing. We did have an update today on the game today, Brett.
Right, okay.
So let's run through this order. This is the best that I can do at this moment. Currently running in P1, we have the mechanic, Mr. Ladmine. Followed by VB Thomas de Toyu, Winzard, It's JD, Corsier, the Dark Fox, Giottosi, and Highly Favored, who did spin out at the start of this race. We have MR Emil, who has retired from this race, unfortunately, disqualified Potty and Nukes. This is a huge problem indeed, Brett.
Yeah, it's a bit of a mess. Obviously, I can't really commentate on it because I have no idea what's going on.
We have a racer that lost it. Might be ghosted for this time only because he went off track. And this, Brett, is really irritating that we cannot see anything going on in the race except spectate.
Bit of a weird one because we had all the race information. Well, we had all the qualifying information there. So I don't know why it would change so fast. On race day.
Right, we have a driver jumping into the pits. Right, who will be jumping into the pits? That will be... This is really irritating, Brett. I'm really sorry for... This is really hurting the stream currently.
Not your fault. I'm sure all these lovely viewers in this amazing community will understand that sometimes things happen and it's out of our control. So please bear with us, boys and girls, all you sexy faces. Stick with us. We will get you through this as well as we can.
Driver still stuck on the grid. Potty, it looks like Potty never got started in this race. Right, currently running in P1 will be the mechanic, Mr. Ladmine, making his way up the grid from 7th, followed by VB Thomas, who also got his way up from P12. Detoy running currently in P14. In P4, sorry. Let's just go to the settings, Brett, see if I can change anything here.
That's okay, you do what you need to do. Ooh. Formula One, action on the track, action in the commentating box. There's action everywhere, but it's still not enough. We still need the data.
On-screen display. Game glitch. This is a real problem indeed. And I'm not enjoying this, Brett. Oh my word.
What a mess. Sparkplug, thank you for still being here and talking. We have...
Let's go to driver tags, Brett. Let's put the driver tags on. This will maybe make it a little bit better. Can we see? No. No improvements. Oh my word.
We do have... Evan, sorry to interrupt, we do have Emil in the chat saying, can we please do a lobby restart?
Well, Brett, I think that will be the best option for us to do a lobby restart because I'm really not enjoying this at all. The race director, we will have to go to the league owner to ask if we can do a lobby restart. Let's just quickly run down the grid so that we can see who did start on provisional, who started on pole position. Brett, if you give me 2 seconds, let me quickly make a phone call to ask if we can restart the lobby.
That's completely fine, Evan. Bear with us, chat. I am not the owner. I cannot do nothing. All I'm doing is sitting there and commentating.
Right, Brett, I'm going off the mic for 2 seconds.
Not a problem. Right, boys and girls, you're stuck with me. Emil, thank you for talking in the chat. We will see, well, when I say we will see, Evan will see what can be done because really this is a bit of a mess. The race is ongoing, but for us commentators, we have no data. We're literally sort of don't know what's happening, to be quite honest. So stick with us, boys and girls. Difficult times, always something. I literally did say the other day, I'd rather be a commentator than a driver, but with this current situation, I'd rather be nothing.
Right, and I am back, Brett. It seems as though we have good news. We are going to restart the lobby for this sprint race. We do have the order for qualifying, so I will be leaving the lobby now, Brett, and I will be starting a new one. Ladies and gentlemen, my apologies. I will be ending the stream, but we will be back momentarily to bring you live action of the Formula 2 sprint in Mexico.